go over here in the shade.
Shade.
What little bit of shade we have. We have our 5-frame nuc, so whenever we bring our bees to install them later on here today, this is what they're going to go in. Some people put them directly in a 10-frame. It's still a little bit cold in the evenings here, so we're going to put them in a 5-frame. It's less for them to heat. It's going to be less stress on them. Once they build this out, we'll go ahead and move them into a 10-frame, the typical 10-frame that we do have. We run all mediums since Catherine helps, and sometimes the kids help us, so we wanted it to be a little bit easier for them. Plus, when you get up so high and there's full of honey, it's pretty heavy. So all we're going to do is we have some drone comb already from last year when we did our extraction, and as you can see here, you can see right here we still have some rosin and wax and everything built up there. So all I'm going to do is take my hive tool and just scrape that out. It comes off pretty easy. Some people save that. I'm not too worried about it right now. And then you scrape off this side, and by doing that, it's going to make it easier to get in and out, especially here at the beginning. So we're just going to go through and clean some of these up. There's a decent amount right there. You can see pretty good on the video. So that's going to make it very hard to pull in and out. They'll eventually fill all that back in again, but that's just kind of what they do. So take that out. Alright, so there's one ready to go. We're back here at the box. We haven't scraped all of them, but I wanted to show you real quick. Our middle one is always drawn comb, if you have it. So luckily we do from last year. When we got started, I got a friend to give us a couple drawn combs, so that was great. Thanks a lot for that, John. Our next one is just plastic foundation with wax coating on it. That way it gives them something to do. And then our next one's drawn comb again. So we have from the right side, drawn comb, empty plastic, drawn comb, empty plastic, and another drawn comb. So we'll go ahead and finish getting this cleaned up. Another thing I wanted to show you is on the boxes, you can see right here how you have all that rosin and a little bit of wax built in there. So that's something else we have to clean out.
Just that getting stuck to the honey thing so they can get stuck.
Right. Makes it harder to do your hive inspections. And we definitely want to make sure we can get in these early and often, since it is such a small box. We do have other 5-frame boxes. If for some reason we can't get in and move them into a 10-frame, if it's raining every day, we can just add another 5-frame box on top of this. You don't want to go too high with them, but that's something else that we can do. All right. You're going the right way. Go like this. Hold up here with your right hand. And then put it here and just scrape back.
I don't want to break it.
If you do, it's alright. There you go, you're getting it. Right. If you don't get every little bit, that's fine. Alright, that's good.
I'm just trying to get this.
Good job.
I want it to. Got some new colors.
Your what?
It's in my chestnut hand.
You have a chestnut hand?
Yeah, it's my right. Good thing I don't write with my right.
Why is your right hand your chestnut hand?
Because I fell in chestnuts.
You fell into chestnuts?
With my right hand.
How'd you fall into chestnuts?
Trip with these boots.
So it's your boots' fault?
Yeah. What? I didn't know how to tie them how they are right now. All I did was tie them how I usually do.
Doesn't have anything to do with jumping out of a tree?
No. things away, and I jumped. Well, I didn't jump out of a tree, but I jumped. Tripped with the boots, and then fell.
I see. Now you have a chestnut hand.
Yeah. I'm right here. These can move over right now.
All ready to go?
So what we're going to do here is put this over and put it over on those two wood things. Make sure they're spaced out correctly, and then go get the bees.
Okay.
Okay, so we finished cutting all this stuff off, and we're going to put this over there on those two logs and make it spaced out correctly. Oh, and then go get the bees. Go get the bees. Like it's spaced out evenly.
All right, remember we have to make these spaced.
Oh yeah,
So these all go together.
I knew I doing that.
Now we put the lid on.
And time to go get the bees.
Now we'll get the bees. These ones are nice and active. Are you guys ready to get some bees?
Yeah.
What about you? All right, so we just got back home, and this is what a package of bees looks like. A 3-pound package of bees. So this is all bees right here. Right here in the middle is there's a can with sugar water in it. Essentially, it's syrup really. And then this black tab is attached to a queen cage that's sitting down in there as well. And the nurse bees, there's some in there with her, and then they'll feed her through the trip. But we're going to let them out here in just a little while. All right, so here's our current hives. And look who I got to come outside.
The queen bee.
The queen bee herself. All right, so she's got a meeting because she's been working from home, so we got to get this done. Ready?
Yep, I think so.
Do it to it.
Right.
So to start, she's going to take off, I call it the shipping cap. I don't know actually if there's a name for that, but all it is just a flat piece of wood that covers up the can. That can just has sugar syrup in it. It's a little tough to get out. Got it?
Yes. You got that? Sorry.
Alright, so when she takes that off,
I'm not trying to hurt anybody.
I'm going to cover that hole. She's going to put the sugar syrup over here.
Just to get it out of the way for right now.
Okay.
Making some room. Put the bees into this little nuke box. And
Before she does that,
I have to take out the queen.
she's going to take out the queen.
And she's
So-
attached to this, she's in a cage attached to this, I don't know, stapled in here.
It's just a little strap that's being held on by a staple, so you have to hold onto that strap very tight so you don't lose the queen. There's the queen in her box.
And all these bees attached are just trying to get to know the queen a little bit.
So you can shake them into the box over there.
Right now?
Yep.
1, 2, 3.
Alright.
There we go.
So these couple that are left on here, it's no big deal. They're still on there. We'll get them in.
Okay. Just trying to move a little quicker.
pick them up. Some people spray the bees through the screen with sugar water. We did that our first year. We didn't really find it necessary to do that. We just take them and smack them in like that. So you can see how that's a 3-pound package and a 5-frame nuke.
All right, I'm gonna put in 2 on the outside. And then I'm going to smush in a little bit of the comb that's already here, the drawn comb. And this is where I'm going to put the queen cage, just to sit her in there. What we do have to do is get out that piece of cork there.
Not that cork.
Not that cork.
Do it here.
Okay. Oh, the candied end, sorry.
All right, so you see here on the left, it looks white. That's candy that they keep in there.
Like fondant.
Yeah, right there is a cork. You got to take that cork out, and what happens is when you take that cork out, the bees will eat through all that candy to get into the queen. And you can see the queen in there.
She should be marked. Do you see what color she is?
It's blue.
Oh.
And they do the coloring by year.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if you can see well right there, but she's in there. So Catherine's going to get that cork out.
And how am I doing that?
Use the tool.
Oh,
there you go.
That was
Ooh.
easy. Just like that.
So you put it on the frame like that. Make sure that they're able to get to her. Make sure she's not going to move your finger. Make sure it's not going to fall out. Okay. You just lower her down in there. And see how Catherine's wiggling back and forth? That's just because there's bees on the ground or on the floor of the nuke box. Now we're going to get our proper spacing. Which means all the frames are going to be pushed together, and then there'll just be a little bit of a space here on the outside. So you see that right there. See, that space here is about the same as what's right here.
All right, and then to feed them, we're gonna put this sugar water container can back on. Just sit it on top of the frames like that so they'll have something to eat from for a few days. Put this second box, oh, is it upside down?
No, you're fine, just don't put it straight down. When you put them down, you put them like this. You don't put them straight down like this, because when you do that, look how many bees you'd be smushing. So you slowly just try to scooch them off.
There's a lot of wiggling and finessing for a little bit, especially
and then
when
you
they're
just
all over the place
slide it on in, and that just pushes them off the ledge. And they'll find their way back in there. So what's happening is that queen that we put in there has been with them for about a day now. And she'll put off a pheromone that all these bees are used to smelling already.
But it's different than our other queens. Oh, sorry. It's different than the other queens, so they'll know which hive they're supposed to go to. And we're leaving the open package there for, should I put it that close or should I move it a little bit further away?
Put it right in front.
Okay.